girl. Alright. Okay, come on, Miss Guy. Come on, sweetheart. There you go. Alright, this is Sky.
Thank you.
Ready to get her teeth cleaned?
Come on, sweetie.
We're just gonna warm up with her a little bit, explain the procedure to her. Hi, sweetie, we're gonna get your teeth clean. Yeah. We'll start off with an oral examination, take a look at these teeth. Make sure everything is good. Healthy mouth. As you can see, we're not having to hold her very tight or anything. We don't need a strong grip. The animals do really well the lighter you hold their muzzle. Stay. Oh, very good dog. Oh yeah, you're very nice. Stay. Stay.
Ken, I know you've been doing this for some time, but as a layperson, as far as I'm concerned, this is somewhat revolutionary in veterinary medicine to be able to do this to an animal without general anesthetic. Is this pretty revolutionary?
It is pretty revolutionary. I mean, well, we've been doing it for about 20 years now, but it has gained popularity in the last 5 years with a lot of veterinarians. We started off with one veterinarian 20 years ago, and now we're at about 200 hospitals that we work at. So it is pretty revolutionary. A lot of the veterinarians haven't seen the procedure yet, so as they see the procedure, more hospitals want to take the procedure on. I started off a long time ago with this veterinarian. He had some animals that were not good candidates to put under anesthesia, and I've always worked with animals my whole life, and we just sat down and we started trying to figure out a way to work on them and get the plaque and calculus off the teeth. And it took us about 2 years to develop the procedure. And after that, then we started taking it to other hospitals, and we were able to get other doctors to take a look at the procedures. And throughout the years, we've been able to develop a better and better procedure every year. So it just took a little time to learn how to do it, but to gain these animals' confidence, you just got to be nice to them. You've got to be gentle with the way you handle them, and you can't be rough at all. You know, they need to have the affection. They need to know that it's a safe procedure, and basically we just start off one tooth at a time. If they have a problem relaxing off to the first tooth, we just go a little slower and a little slower. It's not something that we ever rush through. So each animal takes about a half hour to do, but there are some animals that might take a little bit more loving to get them to calm down a little bit. This is a really good animal. Most of the time they'll act like this. I mean, this was a very common dog as far as how she's behaving. I'd have to say this is an average style patient. If an animal were to get worked up, we just don't do the dental. If it's not a good procedure for them, then we'll have them go back to the doctors, and they'll go on ahead and do an anesthetic dental. But that's about 1 out of every 100.
Cats as well?
Cats as well, yeah.
Cats are a little more uncooperative sometimes.
Actually, cats are easier for us because it's less to surface. And the cats also, if you're gentle with them, you start off nice and slow with them, then they're great patients to work on also. And I've never met this dog before. This is the first time doing this dog. This is her very first dental that she's ever had. So she is just doing wonderful. She's a very nice patient to work on.
A little curious about price. How does it compare with where you have to put an animal under general anesthetic?
It's about the same price as the regular teeth cleaning. I think it's anywhere from $185 to $200 for the cleaning. It's just that you're not paying for the anesthesia and all the pre-op work. They don't need to have the blood work before this dental. So you're just eliminating those charges. But as far as the actual cleaning part, it's the same price as what we charge under anesthesia. The advantages to this is that you can do it more frequently, but we do want to let people know that not every single dog's a candidate for the non-anesthetic dentals. If we do get in there and we start finding broken teeth or frications, any type of pathology, those things need to be taken care of under anesthesia. So those aren't things that we can do. The only thing that we can do without the anesthesia is actually do the cleaning of the teeth, of all surfaces of the teeth. It's really good for dogs that can't be put under anesthesia. A lot of these dogs, they go their whole life without being able to have their teeth cleaned because they can't be under anesthesia. So this way, now we can get these older dogs that are not capable of taking the anesthesia. We can actually get in there and we can take the bacteria out of the mouth instead of not being able to do anything about it, whereas before they've just gone so long and not had their teeth cleaned. This works really well between teeth cleanings. I mean, we do recommend that every dog has dental x-rays at least once a year, but a lot of dogs build up a lot more frequently than a year, so they need to have their teeth done sometimes 2 and 3 times a year. So we still would like to see them get their dental x-rays, and those are things that do need to be done under anesthesia, but this just works really well for maintaining the teeth. We had a veterinarian out in California and he was a good friend of mine, and he had a couple patients that he couldn't sedate. They were older Pomeranians, and we just got to talking one day, and so we just took the dogs and started gently working on them, and you know, it took me probably 6 months before I could really do this procedure. I actually developed this procedure myself, and now I've actually been able to train a lot of technicians to do this procedure. And I am only holding with 2 fingers, my thumb and my index, and I don't have a tight grip whatsoever. The tighter you hold these pets, the more upset they would get. So we do use all the tissue to block everything, where they're not going to make sure that they don't ingest anything that we're taking off the teeth. So that's why you see these big sheets of tissue covering everything. We typically do anywhere from 10 to 15 dentals per day, each technician. And we'll visit the hospitals anywhere from 1 to 2 times a month. We do want to make sure that everybody knows this is something that does need to be supervised by a medical doctor, veterinarian. This is not something that you'd want to have somebody come to your house and do, and or to a pet store, a groomer, or anything like this. This is definitely a medical procedure, and it needs to be done under the direct supervision of a veterinarian. There's a lot of people out there that are doing this that are not qualified. They haven't gone through enough schooling to actually know what they're doing, but yet they're still doing it. You want to make sure that if you're going to have your pet's teeth cleaned, you want to make sure it's done at a veterinary hospital. So we're going to go ahead and start probing every single tooth now. We'll do a 6-point probing on every single tooth. We want to make sure we don't have any pockets. If we do, everything will be charted out and brought to the doctor's attention. Stay. Good girl. Yeah, you're so good.
You mentioned you did have one bad experience with a Rottweiler. I mean, you obviously, not all dogs can do this, but what happened on that experience?
Well, the dog just didn't feel like having his teeth cleaned that day, and he bit into one of my technicians and caused a little bit of pain for his arm. We had to take him to the hospital. We've got a few stitches on him. But that's really the only incident we've ever had since we've been in business. Never injured a dog or anything like that. But yeah, we don't do the Rottweilers. They just don't like to have their teeth cleaned for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Not all animals can do this, but most can.
We found that most can. We actually had our staff bring in all of their animals and had kind of a trial with this company, and some of our employees' animals are a little fractious, and we didn't think they could do it. And we were actually very surprised at how calm these animals were with these people. They have a way with them. Their psychological restraint is masterful. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I went out there. The dog was just like running all over the ground, and, you know, so I brought him up on the leash, and then he tried to bite my finger. So I just had the owner hand him to me this way, underneath my arm. And now it's just like, oh.
He says, "You're best friends now."
We're cool. We're cool.
It is a benefit to the animal, and it's a benefit to the pet's owner as well. We've gotten calls over the years, and the biggest concerns we have are the anesthesia and the cost associated with it. This answers both of those needs. We feel very comfortable and happy being able to answer those needs for the people and for the pet. And so it's kind of a win-win situation for everyone. The cost would be, for the non-anesthetic dental, is $180. It's a flat fee. We also do a deal where if they come in monthly to have it done, it's $36 a month. Compared to with an anesthetic dental, now there's a range, of course, because anytime you identify pathology and have to do x-rays or extractions or any corrective work, the cost goes up, but an average dental could be anywhere from $400 to $600. And so you can see there's a significant savings there.
I'm amazed that the sound doesn't bother them.
Me too.
The high pitched, I'm sure they're hearing much more than I'm hearing, but
Well, if you put it on your own teeth, you feel it.
Yeah.
You feel the vibration, and you can hear the sound. But the only thing I can go back to saying is that we're so calm in what we do. I've done so many of these now that
It's like the animal sense it.
I think that they just sense that it's a good
that it's
thing.
okay, yeah.
So, and you know, it's gotta not feel good having all that plaque and calculus on your teeth. So, because some of these animals, when they get done, they'll just sit there and lick their lips and lick their teeth, and it's kind of the same action that we do after we have our teeth done. This is called a piezo scaler. It works off a little bit different linear pattern than what the ultrasonics work, so it's less vibration and it doesn't heat up. Where the ultrasonics will vibrate really hard and they get really hot. So, so the animals definitely won't cooperate with those machines. This is the same machine they use on us when we're having our teeth cleaned.
We were quite skeptical, to be honest with you, and until we had them come in and show us what they could do on our own animals, we weren't quite sure if this is something that could be done. However, we were able to see that they are very proficient in what they do. They do a very thorough cleaning. They chart the teeth, they probe the teeth. If they identify pathology, they immediately stop and let us know, and then we switch to doing an anesthetic dental and give the owner that option. And they can either do that day or they come back another day to have that done.